I feel the need for speed.
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna?
Cause it's their time. Their time. Up there. Down here, it's our time. It's our time down here.
And we are back on FrostCast episode 11. Welcome to Winter Wolf's Den, everybody. I'm Winter Wolf. I'm going to bring King Z in a set. No, you know what? Let's just bring King Z in right now. Screw it. We'll just get him right up here. Dude, come on. There we go. You took a week off. It was all chaos down there. We get it. You're back. The power's on. The internet's on. I'm glad to see everything. Everybody's okay down there. Secure location is secure. Once again, dude, how you been?
Good. Everything's back to normal. We got kind of everything situated. No major damage to the house. No major damage to the vehicle. We did have power outage for 8 days.
Now you're being super glitchy. Can't hear you. So I'm going to talk until I hear you again.
Well, I was saying that we didn't have
power.
Muted.
We are off to a rough start.
No,
King Z will bring himself back in a quick second here.
That better?
How are we living?
Can you hear me?
So this isn't working out too good. Maybe King Z's comms need a little bit more work. I'm just going to go ahead and get things rolling because I'm sure he'll be back to join us, of course. I wanted to send a quick thought, prayer, shout out, positive energy, all the love in the world to everybody that's down there in the American Southeast. You know, we got a giant ass hurricane absolutely running roughshod over Florida right now. It's going to go on for another several hours, according to King Z, who's on the ground down there. Not exactly in the middle of it, but close enough for comfort anyway. So I'm going to give my recommendation that I typically do, folks. If you're in a position to donate, to help out, to assist, whatever you can help, find whatever local charity, organization, however you can send help, whether it's through money, supplies. If you're able-bodied and willing and you have the experience necessary to go volunteer, I'm sure they'd appreciate that too. But the American Southeast is in a spot for sure. So any kind of help anybody could render, even if it's just sending money or donating to whatever charity or, like I said, org that you feel comfortable supporting, please do. People need it.
I'm coming across. I'm coming across on the stream.
Kingsley got a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm coming across on the stream.
No sound, brother.
I'm coming across on. I'm coming across on the stream.
He's on his phone. He's okay. I see the phone. I don't know, man. Do you want to just start over or something? Because I can't hear you at all. You're coming across on the stream. Interesting. Okay, that's what you were trying to tell me.
So it's
I don't know how we want to handle this going forward, dude. I'm gonna have to head over here to the private chat. I can't hear you and I can hear myself. So maybe we should just restart before we drive everybody crazy.
I don't know what the problem is. Is your headset working?
Oh, wait. I think I got it. Hold up. I understand the problem. I'm an idiot. Hold up. All right, how are we doing?
All right. I'm doing good. Can you hear me now? No, he can't hear me. But everything is good here for me and my wife.
I'm sorry, bro. I don't know what's going on.
We did get some things taken care of around here. Our internet came back up on Saturday or Sunday night. We got power back last Wednesday. So everything's been pretty good here. I do want to thank Winter Wolf for everything.
Dude, how we living?
Carrying this all last week while I was gone, taking care of things here with the hurricane and whatnot. So I hope everyone else is good. Please leave your chats. Would love to hear from you. If any of y'all also experienced anything from the hurricane or the future hurricane that is technically hitting right now.
I just dunked myself back in. Does this work yet or what?
I can hear you. You can't hear me.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me now?
Dude, I went ahead and shut down like everything I had here. I can hear you loud and clear right now, real time.
Okay, and I've been coming across on the stream, so we've been good there.
All right. So we are 100% good right now.
Yeah, right now and only right now.
Okay, that was like a 7-second delay, though.
Yeah, we lost our 3 viewers.
That was probably all my devices shutting off. Why are we still, dude? I'm still having an echo. Like I can hear myself in the background, and I've got nothing running.
Oh, that's because my volume was up on my phone.
Damn it! And then shut all my stuff off because I heard your echo on your phone on me. All right, so
everything good now?
I can hear you perfectly. Do we have any kind of delay that we're working on here?
I think we're good now.
Okay.
I think we're good now.
Let's rock. Okay. Welcome back to Wolf's 10 Guy. I think both of us probably took a shot at saying thoughts and prayers for Florida, the American Southeast. Send help however you can. Fantastic, folks. You're all grown-ups. We're going to leave it at that. Support by any means that you feel like you're going to support. King Z and I have had a whole lot of time apart, which kind of hurt the wolf right in the heart, because we typically talk like every day since we've been doing, the YouTube and the co-writing stuff together. So when you're offline and I'm worried about you having phone charge and whatnot, it hurt. I was like, oh man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it this week. But then of course you're like, now do some topics, stay away from the news, which was good, which was nice. So I don't know if you caught any of my solo stram, as the kids are saying, but I did the Wild Robot and Transformers one. I actually had a whole lot of fun talking about those too. But we're switching gears because King Z's back and he doesn't do the kids stuff.
I
so
do
we're talking. What was the last good kids movie you saw that we talked about? Did you see Inside Out 2? Did you go to that? No. Did you see?
I guess I haven't been going to the movies
7?
a lot lately. That's the main thing.
Because it would look weird if you went to Inside Out 2 by yourself. I'm just saying.
Dude, I went to the Muppets by myself.
It was 1985. You were allowed to do that.
No, it was 2000. I was living in Washington State, so it was after 2010.
I don't know, man. You can't be over like 25 and go to a kid's movie by yourself. And it's a little, if you do, you have to go in with a clipboard or like an iPad or something. Because no, I'm here to review it. I'm doing notes.
No,
I'm not here to kidnap your kid.
I do kid movies all the time. I see no problem with it.
I don't know, man. Ask before I go in, but we're leaving all that behind today because we've updated our show schedule to more accurately reflect that we're smack dab in October. We have to talk some horror movies. And in an effort to get away from just kind of rehashing most of the same news that other people are talking about in bigger formats, we have a little bit of that coming up. We're going to talk Joker Part 2 because it's too big a story not to talk about. And there was a Captain Marvel. That's what I'm saying, And then we got the other Captain Marvel thing that I wanted to touch on because I have a surprising take on that. I think I'm going to catch you off guard. Of course, I just spoiled it by saying that. But we're doing, as you guys might see on the thumbnail, and I'm going to have King Z bring up graphic number 1. We're going to talk Halloween. And a question kind of popped into my head because I was going through Tubi or Paramount. I don't remember some streaming thing I was on. Maybe I was watching like Red Letter Media do reviews for the most recent Halloween trilogy. And I'm like, this thing's been around for like 55 years.
40 years.
It's been through a gazillion years. It's been around 100 years, right? Came out in 1970, what?
8.
It's old. Was it 78? I always think it's 1970 for some reason. I always make that
78.
Mistake. Okay. So
it's 46 years old. I know that very, very thoroughly.
There we are. There we go. It's been through a bunch of iterations. It's got novelizations. I think it's got some comics out there somewhere, I'm sure. But the one I feel like out of all the horror franchises that we always talk about, this one seems to stick around. Nothing ever really seems to hold it up in like terms of development hell. Like things just get made. And, of course, that's part and parcel to, you probably came up with it in the research that you did for tonight, but it was the ownership rights never lapsed along the way. They were part of, and now I'm going to misremember the gentleman's last name. He died in a 2012 Lebanon terror attack. Was it Mustafa Akkad? I think was one of the original owners of the Halloween franchise, or through the studio had the rights to it. And then I think his son got a hold of him after he passed. And I wonder if that's something that lends itself to this maybe not being the best franchise, because the lore is all jacked up. And I'm going to get your opinion on it in a quick second. But I mean, that's one of the things that's always kind of annoyed me about Halloween is that they not only do they kind of retcon lore continually, they'd like retcon stuff into oblivion and just ignore like family bonds and relationships that existed to just go in other directions. But let's start at the beginning for you, dude. Like, how big of a fan of Halloween as a franchise were you growing up? Like, let's start there. I think that's a good enough spot.
Well, I really wasn't into much horror growing up, except for some of the stuff you're not supposed to watch as a kid. So I really wasn't like completely, ingrained in everything that was going on with it. But I did know what it was, and that's the part that I was making with this story, and that's why he should be sitting on a throne, because all hail the king. Because if it wasn't for Halloween changing the horror genre in 1978 to the slasher film, he gave birth to the slasher films. If it wasn't for him, stuff like Friday the 13th never would have been a thing. The horror trope of the final girl wouldn't be a thing. This movie introduced a lot of the tropes of modern horror films that you just wouldn't see in any others. This one has such a staying power. It can because it can do that. I mean, because if it wasn't, this is the original. This is number one. There wouldn't be a Freddy Krueger. There wouldn't be a Jason. There wouldn't be a what's his name? Jigsaw.
Ghostface.
Yeah, there wouldn't be Ghostface. There wouldn't Evil Dead. This inspired Evil Dead to be made. So without this movie, there would probably be no teen slasher films, or the sin slasher films they taught them of the 80s. You wouldn't have some of the most iconic scenes ever, and it's all because of this movie being made in 1978. And that's the reason why it stuck around for 40 years, because it has such a staying power, because it's an easy film to make. I mean, how many times have you just seen someone wearing a Michael Myers mask? How many people have done so many videos of them driving with a Michael Myers mask? The one with the guy who plays piano, and he wears a Michael Myers mask while he plays piano, and like, it's iconic. It is ingrained in the zeitgeist of horror, and he is the original new horror guy.
Dude, you're not wrong, and you didn't even mention we use the word iconic a lot, but when the shoe fits, it fits. You talk about the score, talk about the music. Dun, 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 don't DM say me. Dun, 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 you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. Like, people were using that as like ringtones when like settable ringtones were all the rage. You know what I mean? Late 90s, early 2000s. But I think you're right. When you get into Halloween, it's at its strongest in this franchise when it's just that simple principle, dude. It's just a masked, unstoppable killing machine force of nature that doesn't need to be clever. It doesn't need to have any rhyme or reason. The fear factor is you just don't know why, and of course some of the sequels that you might, I've seen all of them at least twice in my life, and a couple of them, the more favorite ones, I've seen more times. Obviously, I think I probably have only seen Season of the Witch only once, and that's, of course, you probably know, that's the Black Sheep one. It didn't have Michael Myers. It told a completely unrelated, different story, because they had the idea after part 2 to take into more of an anthology kind of idea, that the spirit of Michael Myers or the spirit of evil could be explored through different stories and follow-ups. But they learned that lesson real quick, because that shit tanked box office when that came out. But
yeah, Season of the Witch was Halloween 3, 1982.
3. So, I mean, you can see how in rapid fire, short order, these movies were coming out, because it's like my man Kingsley said, and you've heard us talk about a bazillion times before, the ROI, the return on investment for horror flicks, when budgeted properly, is gazillions of easy dollars in a lot of cases. When you've got the promotion ability, the distribution ability, horror makes bank. It's just how it is. So whenever the studios back then saw a cash cow that they're releasing like biannually take a hit, they're like, no, bring back the Shatner mask, bat mask, need it, because that's the source of their bread butter. And all them slasher movies do the same thing. But one of the things I like most about the Halloween franchise, like I was saying before, and I don't particularly enjoy every installment of the modern stuff, I just like how different creators have kind of gotten a hold of it. They've changed some stuff, But at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's still mostly Halloween. Like, and I even mean that about the Rob Zombie stuff. I don't know if you saw those two. That was like a duology that came back in like the early to mid single digit 2000s. Did you catch either of those? Rob Zombie and Sherry Moon Zombie's wife is in there.
I did not watch the Rob Zombie ones.
Yeah.
I can safely say I did not.
Yeah. They hyper violenced a lot of the slasher stuff up, and they added some crazy backstory and lore. But I mean, I guess that's what you do, and that's what I mean. Like, this franchise constantly reinvents itself, and I think that's why, outside of the rights issues that have kind of befallen Friday the 13th, and we were talking about how, you know, we were looking forward to the Camp Crystal Lake show. We don't know if that's happening. We're like, all that seems to be up in the air. We can't get a follow-up to the remake, which actually did pretty good. I think that was in 2009. It had one of the guys from Supernatural as one of the leads in it. Like, it was perceived fairly well, but then development hell because of rights issues. Because apparently the way these things work is King Z could own the title, but I could own the font of the title. So if I don't let him use the font of the title, they can't market it. And then you can also own the name Jason, but somebody else could own the family concept of Voorhees. And if you don't agree, like, you don't have Jason Voorhees, and somebody had Camp Blood, somebody had Camp Crystal Lake, that screws it all up. It's wild, man. Like, the legal stuff, if you've got a mind for it, it's kind of fascinating. It's a bit much for us to get into here because we're not legal eagles. You know, we can understand enough to have that surface level chat. But I love that it does get the opportunity to at least be reinvented through various crappy sequels. Because you and I, we got no particular disdain for crap sequels. We understand what they are. We understand what their goals are. So if you got a Children of the Corn Part 9, there we go. Oh, look at that. Travis Mitchell, thank you for commenting. One thing stands out amongst Friday, Nightmare and so on. This one, I think, best has a consistent story characters. It never makes joke. Michael, I would disagree with the end of that. Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes saying trick or treat, motherfucker, and then jump kicking him in the face. Little bit of a joke. Little bit. But the tone never made him a joke in any of the other movies. I would agree with that. And outside of changing some of the relationships between Laurie not being his sister and then introducing Jamie as his niece, and they made a couple of minor mods, but nothing, I think, that undermined. And except, dude, that jump kick. Busta Rhymes should never have jump kicked Michael Myers to the face. Never. But what are you going to do? It was like 1998. That was peak 90s. That was peak 90s horror right there. The jump kicking him in the face.
That was Halloween H2O, 20 years later.
Was that H? I thought that was Resurrection with I thought it was Resurrection with Busta Rhymes. My bad. I thought that was Resurrection that he did that. I could be wrong.
Resurrection was 2002.
Oh, all right. I swear, I know it was Busta Rhymes jump kicked him in the face. I might have my movies mixed up, and I'm still happy to gush about it because it was funny. Have you seen, King Z, any of the new stuff with that kind of that closeout trilogy that has 90-year-old Jamie Lee Curtis as like a doomsday prepper on a revenge kick? Like,
I actually thought that paid great homage to the Halloween franchise. Unlike some of the other sequels that they did, I really enjoyed the newer stuff they did.
Mm.
That was another comment that popped up.
Must not safe for TV. There you go. Oh, come. Okay. All right. Listen, you've got your fan favorite. Okay. You probably thought Nightmare on Elm Street 6 Freddy's Dead was pretty good too. That's probably your flavor, Travis. That's okay. You could like that. Just tell me you didn't think the Freddy Power Glove thing was a thing, please. That was terrible. But thank you for commenting, brother. We appreciate you. I agree with you. I think that the Halloween trilogy, the newest one, was pretty good. The bookends were good. I thought the middle one was kind of sloppy. I thought that whole Evil Dies Tonight cult thing that kind of overtook the town was a little weak, especially we had like
that was
COVID
the last
and BLM
one.
Stuff going on at the time. And I think that bled in. I thought that was the middle one. And then Ends was the eventual revenge thing that goes down where Jamie Lee and family get him. Am I mixing these both up? Really?
That was all in the third one.
I thought the Evil Dies Tonight thing was kills.
The second one
and
was
then
in the
Ends
hospital. It ended in the hospital.
Right. And then in Halloween Ends, the third installment, they introduced the Corey Cunningham character who they make up to be the new Michael Myers by the end of the movie. So I thought that's why the Evil Dies Tonight thing was in the middle. because I remember at one point thinking when I saw the trilogy back when, I would have liked the Corey Cunningham character to have been in from the beginning. Freddy's Dead is Better Off Dead. No. Except Better Off Dead is a great movie. And I've asked King Z about 8,000 times if you wanted to talk about this damn thing.
I love Better Off Dead. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Dude, then why aren't we skiing the K-12 right now? Like we should just stop this topic right now and talk about
because
Better Off Dead.
I want my $2.
I want $2. He's skiing on one ski. Dude, we could do that. Dude. We'll
There's something chasing him.
Dude, I love everything that stupid movie does when it switches into like claymation, stop action. The mom's cooking like rubber squid legs out of the pot, and I love what's the next door neighbor say? For America or something. The fat ugly wife with the next door neighbor. Great Christmas. Oh man, dude. All right, Better Off Dead. Christmas season. We're gonna lock that in instead of Home Alone for Christmas Vacation. But anyway, the trilogy, I think, is the kind of thing I would like to see, as Travis has pointed out a couple of times. You just mentioned it with talking off of my my Nightmare on Elm Street piece. These movies, if they could get their rights together, they still can work because they can be updated for like the postmodern age, 2024, 2025. They don't even need to really use legacy characters besides bringing back, obviously, the title villain. You know, they can do Scream without Nev Campbell. You might have heard me in last week's thing, Kingsley, that the casting announcement's been made that they have Nev Campbell back for Scream 7 because they had to cut loose Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega over salary and politics. Those reasons. But I mean, you can make these kind of movies again. You just need to have a kid stumble across an artifact in a library, unleash the curse, and you know what I mean? Like, it's doable to bring classic things back. But my question to you to kind of, I mean, I guess maybe to round out the topic or to just kind of move on to other things in the topic, does the world need more Michael Myers in 2024? Is this kind of story done? Do we really need to revisit Jason Voorhees or Freddy Krueger? Get out of here. I knew Tina from Nightmare and Creighton Duke from Jason Goes to Hell. I do remember their roles. I don't remember the mom. I'll have to go back and rewatch. Good pick. All right. So the question was to King Z. Does the world need more Freddy, Michael, Jason, or is the world just done with these guys and it's all about the Terrifier and other crap I don't know about? Because I don't know, maybe I should watch more modern stuff.
I think the modern slasher horror is pretty much a dying genre because of the desensitization of horror movies. Like, why is someone scary like Michael or Freddy or Jason still scary when you have Todd, Kevin, and Keith walking down the street who's doing the same thing? So
that's some sad life imitating art commentary right there for sure. But I mean, does that then lend itself to, we need more supernatural horror, that we need to get away from things like rando serial killer Michael Myers and then have things that are a little bit more incredible, a little bit more supernatural. So it has to be suspended disbelief to get you to engage with these kind of concepts. Like, do you think that's why It was, or chapter 1 anyway, was successful because it had super creepy monster clown?
I think it's because clowns trigger a natural fear in people, even though they're supposed to be funny. It's that natural opposite type thing. That's why that one did so successful. I think they need to go, and what they've been doing is going into more real human horror. Take The Strangers, take in the new one, Blink Twice, or Speak No Evil. Movies like that where it's real
really
people.
Yeah,
it's real people horror instead of super villain type horrors with Freddy, Jason, Michael.
All right. So you're saying go the other way from what I said, is you actually want to see it double down on grounding. Interesting. That's an interesting take on that. Oh, here we go. Travis Mitchell, I think one medium where Halloween with thrives an audio drop. You did. I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that's coming out in audio that I've been turned on to lately. Stuff out of like the Alien franchise has a couple of great audio pieces that are out there that you guys could check out. I think that's an absolute. It's funny because that means we've gone back like 100 years in time to like radio programs.
I was about to bring that up. It's like,
dude,
what was old is new again. Yeah,
Yep.
once was old is now new again, and like how radio
Yep.
broadcast type stories are making a comeback. Remember War of the Worlds, where they played
Yeah.
it over the radio for the
Orson
first time, and
Welles,
people
man.
thought it was real, and like people were
Dude, because he
freaking
sold.
out. Yeah.
Dude, he sold it. Dude, for sure. Dude,
Yeah,
that's
Travis,
funny
that
that
was
you're
a
right,
good
man.
one. I think with the play with the rise of podcasts and stuff like that, that
Yeah.
it could really, really play well. Done with the right music in the background or good Foley stage.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%, man. I didn't mean like you and I just take turns reading lines back and forth from like a script that we pitch to each other. Like, no, you need like a talented, diverse cast, ages, inflections, accents, just to make it all sound believable. You'd need to have it like fully realized. Like, it would almost have to be fully storyboarded so the people writing it could get a feel for, oh, and the killer is chasing King Z down the hallway with a bunch of windows that are smashed each as he walks through. So you can then pipe in real sound effects and not just leave it to like if you were reading a novel on your own. I know they're my man right there. Travis gonna listen to Star Wars radio dramas. There it is.
Yeah. So it could really enhance the story. If you guys are looking for a good podcast where they do this, look up Gather by the Ghostlight. It's a podcast of performances from one of my local friends here who works as a stage actor, writer, director. He's a very talented guy. He's brought a lot of talented actors together. His podcast has been growing tremendously, and give him a shout out over there. The podcast is Gathered by the Ghostlight, and you can find it at anywhere you get your podcast.
Dude, link that in the description while we're working, definitely, or at the end of it, put it in the description so people can definitely check that out.
Yeah,
because I think you're right. If we can turn people on to other mechanisms and avenues to consume this kind of content, not only does it keep the medium alive, but it inspires other people to take their shots at writing within, even if it doesn't write within the genre, I guess. It lets people know that you don't have to have an in somewhere to make great content and then to put it out. It's like exactly like you said, anywhere you consume your podcast literally means anywhere. And you can get things listed without being gate kept as long as you have the ability to produce it and then lend itself to the public square of opinions in terms of its quality. But sure, I mean, it's like it's an everybody's welcome kind of scenario. Now, it's actually never, dude, you had mentioned this, it was a couple of shows ago. It's never been a better time to be independent. Like if you have the idea and you've got a minimal amount of money to invest because you need the actual material to write with or to type with, you know what I mean? But the imagination stuff is on you. The writing, the discipline, the time is on you. But anybody can get that together, get something on Wattpad, get something over on Audible, get something over on Spotify, however, whatever medium you want to push. So I think that's a good enough spot because I think that's. You talk about coming full circle. I think that's how good horror started that way. Low budget, effects driven, necessity mother of invention, people forced to be creative. And now that's what we're going back to.
Yeah. And if you look at what you actually need is like, you need a good mic because people will not forgive bad sound. You need a good, write your script and then read it and, do it a few times. Get comfortable with it, add some inflection in your voice, stuff like that. Then you can go get GarageBand, which is free on any Apple product. You can edit it right there on your phone. You can edit it on your iPad, or if you have a MacBook. I use PC products and Android. I use Adobe for a lot of mine, which is I have the student subscription, which is $15.99 a month for all the Adobe products. But you could also do it in stuff like DaVinci, which is free. And there's a few other ones that are out there that are free that you could do the editing with that will give you the same type of final product that you're looking for. And then you get something like there's so many different distribution out there, like we're using Spotify for podcasters, easy to get out on all your other platforms. There's other ones that you can pay and you can have put in your a different intro on it, put a different outro on it, throw your ads in there to make money. Some of them have partnerships where you can make money based on how many listens you get. They have subscriptions that people can pay for member only content. So if you have the idea, there's ways to make money so you can, keep upping your game. And how we're learning with this channel, we've been doing this, for 2 years now. We just started the podcast. Yeah. We're on episode 11. And each time we do it, we try to do something better, do the thumbnail better, do the title better, did the description
Trying to
down,
learn.
did our
I'm just
background.
trying to learn.
Yeah, and if you're going to do it, get ready to do 100 episodes. Don't quit until you do 100 episodes, because it's going to take about that long for people to actually start finding you and start listening to you, especially if you don't have a name behind you. Like we don't.
Definitely.
Neither one of us are really
You know.
big in the pop culture zeitgeist. So
Any sphere.
but
We're
here we
coming for
are,
you, though,
episode
Red Letter
11, only 89 more to go.
A tenth of the way down. Dude, I wanted to hit on a couple of spots that you were talking about just getting people motivated to kind of just do their thing and produce, because I think that's somewhere that we can kind of encourage other folks that might be following behind us, even given our limited reach. Like Kingsley was saying about doing up your script, nickel's worth of free advice: do up your script, then throw it away and reprint it and edit the hell out of it. Your first script will be garbage. It's just how it works. Your first novel will be garbage. The first song you write will be garbage. And I'm sorry if that sounds harsh. It's just how it is. Everybody that's been successful shares that anecdote with folks behind them. And I can attest to it myself. The first book I wrote, I thought it was the greatest thing I've ever written. I edited it once and I tried to self-publish it. Dude, it was a disaster. I can't go back and read that book now. I'm so embarrassed by the lack of pacing and the lack of organizational 3-act structure to it. The stuff that I've drafted after that I haven't attempted to publish yet is quantifiably better, because it's been revised by people that aren't me. You know what I mean? It's had people take professional passes at it. It's had other people just kind of like read for content and consistency on top of the boring stuff, you know? So there's always something else, like Kingsley was saying, it's on you guys to learn what you need to learn. Like no one's going to hand it to you unless literally you go in and say, here's $50,000 in my idea. You guys make it work. Like that could happen. We'll take your money. We absolutely will take your $50,000 to make your movie, but it's probably more fun for you if you just learn how to do it and then collaborate. You know?
And then one more thing on that: don't worry about having it perfect. Don't have it worry about perfect is the enemy of done. Yep. So go out there
and progress
and get it done, get it edited, and then just go from there. That's
for sure. You want me to keep going? We're good?
No, we're good.
Okay.
But also, I had one more point on that. Yeah, it was
perfection is the enemy of progress and done. Yep.
And don't worry about the credits. Just go out there and do it. Do your thing.
Yep, go do your thing. We're gonna do our thing. Dude, we've missed a week on this show given the weather situation, but we're gonna jump out. We're doing the Penguin next, right? Is that up? Or are we doing the Joker? I don't remember. So we're doing Penguin. Okay, here we go. So, given our limited reach and channel size, that we are always, trying to get out there and promote, and we're asking people to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, because we like having these chats. We love engaging with people. But we get a lot of flack sometimes in the comments about you guys just dunk on Secret Invasion and Marvel and the Acolyte. And I'm like, okay, here's the 5 shows that we actually enjoyed, the 5 movies we actually enjoyed. We're actually in the middle of a show that we enjoy currently, or at least as of episode 2, I was thinking we were both enjoying it, right? I just watched episode 3 of The Penguin. You recovered power and internet. You're all caught up. You told me that, right?
Yep. I watched them both. Good. I think it was Monday night or Sunday night after we got internet back.
You're just like, woo, Penguin party. So that sounds like Diddy party, but like less going to get you charged by the FBI.
Anyway. Less oily. Less oily.
A little less oily. Although Batman Returns, that Penguin looked a little oily. This is a less oily Penguin. I'll give you that. But all right. So we can't do the beat by beat. We don't have time. And we're not going to do are we going to do an episode 3 full on tomorrow? I think we should just pick that back up next week, just because of the way schedule is kind of sorted. So for tonight, I just wanted you get me up to speed on where you are with the Penguin through 3 episodes, any part of the topics, any concepts, your general impressions, your specific gripes, whatever you want to do, go, and I'll pick up after you.
No, I think this is a perfect mobster gangster show that just happens to be set in Gotham. I think this Penguin is probably the most well-rounded Penguin, and watching how he's trying to just build his way up. Like he started off as a driver, and now he keeps playing the game, and he's playing the game. Now the game's catching up with him, but he's like, no, we in it now. Like he's not scared. He's ready for the next challenge. And I think that's the great thing about this Penguin, is like how he keeps trying to grow and be better, and like how he's training his employee of like how he got better, and like what do you want, like how do you, he's like, good kids like you don't get that that life that you should get. You gotta go out there and take the life you want, and that's how his mindset. And like you didn't see it in everything he does. So I think this Penguin, and then of course the Hangman, Sophia. I think those are two great characters. And then watching that interaction of them at the end of episode 3, where just the two of them on screen, was just great. Like watching two actors take good material and making gold out of it.
Dude, Colin Farrell wins an award for this show, right? Like, does he not have to at least get nominated for something? Playing a character with this level of complexity? Like, because I enjoy this.
Yes,
he must. Okay, just to cross that right off the bit. Yep. This is probably my surprise favorite show of 2024, right? I had no idea it was going to be this kind of good. I had zero expectations for this going in because I was not the world's biggest fan of Pattinson the Batman.
Yeah,
like,
okay, Matt Reeves.
Yeah, Matt Reeves directed, written, right? The Batman, right? So a show about the Penguin? Like, dude, I could watch a show about Joker. I mean, who couldn't watch a show about Joker, right? You that could be some sick shit. Like, you could get that.
Or, a history of Bane.
Right, history
Mr.
of Bane.
Freeze.
Arkham Asylum with Scarecrow. Like, there are things, man. Like, if they could give us a couple mil an episode, we could give them something, right? But the Penguin, though, dude, they did it. Somehow, they stripped all of the goofy, all of like the cartoony weirdo stuff out of the literal cartoon character, like the snorting, snarfing, penguin cackling DeVito stuff. Although that movie was plenty dark in its own different way, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Colin Farrell in this show is layered, dimensional, complex. He's a savage killer, and you know it, no question.
Yeah, but
he's also about as broken on the inside or wounded on the inside a human being as you can have. We'll hit on some spoilers just because I don't know how you talk about the show really without talking some specifics here. But in episode 3, when Vic told him he was leaving, or when he figured out Vic wanted to leave him, I never thought he was going to shoot the kid. Never thought he was going to do it. But you could tell he was devastated that somebody he was so good to was going to walk out.
Yeah.
It was right there. I'm like, oh, snap. So he didn't just beat this kid's brains in and then walk out and start a gunfight because pew pew, like that's what DC shows need to be, right? Wrong. Like, no. Like, this dude's like leveled in comp. He just changes. Like, he hits different notes in a range. It's the opposite of the main characters in the Acolyte. There, I snuck it in. I'm only doing one. I promise. I'm only doing one.
I'm gonna start fining you money every time you bring that name up.
Do we need a graphic?
I'm gonna treat you like the NFL in celebrations.
We're gonna issue a $5,000 fine to Winter Wolf. He's got a repeated violation of the Acolyte policy. Dude, but tell me I'm wrong about the Penguin. It's like he's soft with his employees, right?
Yeah,
he's incredibly soft with the girls, no doubt. Like the girls that work for him and his girlfriend / top bottom bitch situation that he's got going on.
Mm-hmm.
I legit see him destroying people because at some point someone's going to come for his mother or come for Vic, and this dude's going to go crazy. And it's going to be ugly. It's going to be cringe ugly when it happens.
Yeah, that whole interaction with them in the bathroom, and he was telling us like, I do this, and then he has the gun, he puts it, and this is all you feel. And had the gun to his head. Dude. This is all you feel.
Too good.
He's like, no,
did you notice?
Leave.
Did you notice how Vic responded to him though? It's like, fuck you. Like, he didn't stutter that shit. He harshly said it, and I think that was the last thing either of them said before he walked out. It's like he you know what I mean? He put the big boy pants on in that scene. And it was funny because I had heard from a couple of mutual friends that they thought this episode was weaker than the first two. And I'm like, I didn't see it.
No, I think this one was a lot more
as good.
Yeah, this one's like emotionally driven. And I think you saw another layer of each of the characters. Like you saw Vic and
that part.
What's been tearing between him, and then his PTSD that he had while he was in the club as the bad man, and then him coming, the whole returning the product of some returns.
We'll talk about that because there's implications coming for that. Woo! But let's start at the beginning, just because this was, and one of my friends' complaints specifically was that the episode was too Vic heavy. I'm like, they developed his character in the first 3 minutes of the episode. It became the Oz and Sophia show, and then they gave him the PTSD scene in the club, and then the ending at the bathroom, then the ending. So
no,
like,
I think
it wasn't a Vic episode. What are you talking about?
He had it was very well balanced, because you had everything going on with Penguin and Sophia, and then you had his internal struggles of the girl he wants to be with and the connection to his old life, which literally blew up in his face. And what was left, it was literally leaving town. Yeah, and then the last bit that was holding him to his old life, literally leaving town, and he decides to stay and go back to his new life, the Gotham that he wants, because he loves the city.
Yeah, fully embracing the lifestyle. I love, and when you talk about that, you could see Vic's arc through the episode. No joke. Mm-hmm. Like in the first 2 minutes, you're gonna have to find me twice because I'm gonna do it again.
No.
We got more. I won't say the word. You'll know what I'm talking. Everybody, It's the show I talked about before, right? We get more development out of him in 2 minutes where we see his family. And I saw his family for 2 minutes. I know them intimately now. I know exactly who his dad is, exactly who his mother is, exactly what kind of person his sister is, what they all mean to each other, and what it meant to watch them go.
What type of family they are.
2 minutes. Dude, this is what I'm saying. Dude. And so when that comes back up at lunch, when he's eating lunch with Oz, and he's like, "Hey, what's your dad do?" Oh, he's a mechanic, what he really wants, but he really loves to cook. And dude, just Oz is responsible as chef. Oh, that's fucking great. Like, he's never talking down to this kid ever. And that's probably the only person outside of his family that's ever treated him with that kind of respect. Yeah. You know what I mean? So even dude, a stupid lunch scene developed more character for two people than that entire run of that show. I'm just going to. It
connects their relationship. If you go back even to the first episode, at the very end, where they're sharing the mixed version of the Slurpees from the store from the same neighborhood.
Just better. Yeah,
it's just better.
That's what I mean, man. Like, you get a bunch of little moments like that between these two. That way, when the end pops off, because at first, like when the end is on its way to going down, I'm like, why is Vic taking this dude's like $140 trillion Maserati out of town? Bad play, bro. Bad play. You're not going to get too far, right? But then we see he was just literally going to watch Graciela get on the bus and basically say goodbye to that life. He didn't even get out of the car. He just watched her go. And then he's like, fucking, I'm going back. This is what I'm doing now. And then he do it in a split second. He makes the Oz decision from like episode 1, where Oz shot Alberto. Fucking, he shoots Alberto, and he's fuck, like right after. There's no shot that Vic doesn't realize what he's done instantly at the end of this episode. But the best part of that entire sequence was Vic goes, "What about Sophia?" And Oz was like, "Fucking leave her. We gotta go." And they go.
Yeah, dude, we in it now.
They left. Dude, and he loved that. He loved that. Dude, if he dies at the end of this show, it's gonna be like when they get Pesci at the end of Casino, hands down. Like, all right, motherfucker, you thought you were here, and now the family tells you you're not. Dude, mark it down. Dude, usually, guys, King Z gives you guys predictions. Wolf's giving you a prediction right now. He ain't making it out of this show to be in the Batman 2. No chance.
Yeah.
No chance.
And that was one of the things that even Sophia hinted at. She's like, "You're not even a made man."
Oh, dude, she dogged him. Dude, we didn't even talk about their relationship. Dude, their relationship is awesome in this show because it's, you know what it is? It's raw. At this point where they are in their lives, they don't lie to each other anymore now, I don't think. They just tell each other what's what. Like, he gave a dude, this is why I said he needs an award. A heartfelt apology. Yeah, I screwed you over. I don't regret it. Look at me. Yeah. Look at who I am. Look at what I got for you. You don't think that was worth it? Of course it was worth it, but I'm sorry. Yeah. And he meant it. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to do. Like, tell me something. I don't know what to say. I need a drink.
Yeah. This was good. It just, the way they just keep building on each other and how he's playing like every side until he's the one in charge.
Dude,
and
it's like 8D chess with him, man. Or he thinks it is.
And like everyone underestimates him because he has a little bit of a waddle when he walks, and he's a little bit bigger. He has a scar on his face.
But she said it. Dude, but what did she say to him? You always say the right things, don't you, Oz? Because I think she's semi-immune to it.
Yeah.
Because she's been through what she's been through. she's gonna have to rough this dude. Dude, it's gonna be awesome. This is the most fun I've had all week. It's gonna be amazing watching him talk his way out of that. Oh, I thought you went back inside. Oh, I thought that they had you. I thought you were dead. I thought something. Dude, because how else do you get out of the situation? Because guys, if you haven't watched the show, we already said spoilers, so I'm not going to give you the thing again. At this point in the show, Oz and Sophia are basically primed. They've gathered some support. They're going to move a new kind of drug through the triad instead of the Falcone family. They're going to use that as kind of a springboard to get Sophia to take over when she has enough clout with the partners that are out there, right? But by the end of the episode, and he foreshadowed this, did Oz, all right, kid, I still got to be careful. I got the Marcones on my, not the Marcones, the other ones. No, yeah, the Marcones.
The Marcones. They're the
yes.
Falcones and the Marconis.
The Marconi, that's right. It's the Falcones and the Marconis. That's how how we're differentiating the Italians. Okay. So Marconi's wife, who's Avasarala from The Expanse, who I love in that role, shows up with a couple of her gunners, and they got Sophia and Oz on their knees. Like, it's over. And then Vic, of course, comes barreling in with the $147 trillion Maserati, kills one of their dudes by crashing the car, and then Oz jumps in and they make their escape. So what happens to this alliance? Like, how do you talk your way out of that to keep this plan going? Because all she has to do now is go back to Falcone and be like, this dude was going to hamstring all of us, and she's going to do what? Unite with the Marconis to kill this dude? It's wild, man. It's crazy. I don't even know what to think of it.
And we're only 3 episodes in. There's still 5 episodes left.
Oh, dude. I'm going for in hockey, it's a hat trick when it's 3, right? I'm gonna hit you with a hat trick. All right. This is the problem with that show. When you only have 25 minutes of runtime and you only run 8 to 10 episodes, you can't do any of this. None of it. And you spent $300 million.
Like an hour long.
Dude, 48-minute minimum, I think. Minimum. Right? So, of course, you can get 8 minutes of screen time about Vic with his family, Vic with the girlfriend in 2 different places, because they had the rooftop scene and they had the part where he invited, and I thought that was going to get him in some shit when he invited the girl over to Penguin's spot. I'm like, dude, did you not see the doors in this place? It's got reinforced steel bars. His bedroom is a fucking vault. He probably don't want people all up in his
safety
place.
Deposit boxes.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. Right? It's a vault. He lives in a vault. He probably don't want rando company. But anyway, so like we had that scene, the multiple checks on the phone to see where she's like, bus is coming. You coming? Bus is leaving soon. Vic, you coming? And then the PTSD thing in the club. And then obviously how the bathroom exchange between the two of them. Probably dude, was that the best scene so far in this show? That just popped into my head.
Those last two.
Character-wise?
Yeah. His interaction in the bathroom and then his interaction with Sophia outside the club.
That was the apology where that's why I said like he was like, was it worth it? Yeah, dude, amazing. Dude, that might have been better than anything in either of the first 2 episodes, even better than his bit with the mother, which you and I both kind of said was like, this is the version Andor should have had, but they went the other way. They were doing the overbearing mom that beat the kid down into like middle management. Right. Penguin's mom went the other way. It's like, no, dude, fucking, are you a chump? What does that make me? Okay. All right, man. I got it.
The mother that is suffering from dementia and stuff like that. Right.
Dude, when the Marconis get a hold of her, if that comes to, oh my God. Dude, I see like a firebombing of somebody's like mansion. Like it's gonna be ugly, dude. It's gonna happen. Episode 6. I said that week 1. I'm telling you, the big thing pops off episode 6. No chance it doesn't.
So I got a question for you based on an article I read.
Oh, go ahead, lay it on me. Sorry, I was rambling.
Does this show need Batman?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and I was going to ask you the same thing. This show does not need Batman to show up. No. What it needs is to mention Batman periodically as a looming specter over the criminal organizations. That's all the Batman I need. This is a crime drama, Sopranos, mob boss thing. If this show throws out all its credibility as a mob drama the minute some dude in hockey pads and a pimped out, what was that, like, was it a Mustang GTO, whatever they made his Batmobile out of the movie, you know what I'm saying? The minute either of those, the minute somebody in a costume shows up unironically, the show it's off the rails, like the meme, like with the car driving off the highway. You know, could they have Bruce Wayne? Possibly. I probably wouldn't mind that, but I don't know where this show. I mean, this show takes place right after the movie, right?
Yeah, it literally picks
city's
up
flooded.
right after the movie,
Right.
Where the movie leaves off.
Right. So it's not like Joker where, Bruce Wayne was only 10 years old and, Joker was Arthur Fleck was in his 30s, whatever. Right. So Pattinson, they'd never get him for TV, but they could get some athletic brunette dude and shoot him from behind in an expensive car convertible or at a restaurant in like a suit. And like, oh, that's Bruce Wayne. He may be buying the hotel. You know what I mean? They could do that just to let you know the Batman's in this world, but they never need a dude in armor to show up.
Yeah. I think
show me a glimpse of the cave.
If they did have Batman in it, it would take away from the title character, the Penguin.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. Dude, I don't think you know what? I don't want to see Batman in this show because I think I've explored as much of Batman's psyche as I ever need to at this point.
And you said you might need a mention or like a looming. I think just having the bat symbol up once, that would be enough.
Well, that's what I mean. You remember in episode 1 literally started with them watching news coverage. They didn't show Batman, but they mentioned Batman leading survivors, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I need one more of those, maybe a signal like you said, because did we even see a bat signal in the Batman? Did he have that built by the end of that movie? Okay.
No, he had it at the beginning. It was at the very beginning of the movie you saw the bat symbol.
Because I just saw it once, dude. It wasn't not my favorite.
So you have to think,
my favorite.
You had Christopher Nolan's Batman, which was based off of a little bit of Year One Batman.
Yep, I remember that.
The Batman, Matt Reeves' is based off a Year Two Batman.
Okay, so he's already geared up and has like the prototype suit in the car. Okay, so I mean, then show me the signal once. Give me one press conference with whoever they had. They bringing back the guy that played Gordon. I can't remember his name. He was in one of the Hunger Games.
He's supposed
movies.
to be in
Jeffrey
the sequel.
Or other. Oh, he's supposed to be in the movie. Is he on
movie.
the cast for the show? I'm saying.
I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him.
That's what I'm saying.
But I believe in the show they're supposed to introduce the person who's supposed to be in the show and the movie playing Harvey Dent.
Okay, then there you go. Somebody in that position needs to be like, we don't really need any other vigilantes out there, but thank you, Batman. You know what I mean? Something like that once. And then one signal just to make the point, maybe in the last episode as kind of like the tie into the next movie. That would be dope. I'd be down for that. But I definitely don't need to see him show up and throw hands with the Penguin or with Vic. That shit would be funny. I don't think so. Dude, what a great show, man. I'm not even rating episodes week to week because unless something stands out as being an absolute bomb waste of my time, I'm just saying they're all good. Like, so they've just all been great. I have no complaints. Yeah, like you said, the Batman thing is a bit of a sticking point. Like, I'd like that one little bit of recognition, but that's a nothing burger as far as the show goes. Nothing burger.
Yeah. And I also agree that I don't think they could afford to get Patterson for an episode or.
Dude, you give him $50,000 to do one line of ADR to be like, I'm in vengeance, and just have him utter that in a dark alley. There's your Batman reference. Everybody know, dude, they laid that line on so thick in the trailer and the promos for that movie with that one.
Right, in the movie itself.
One song. Right.
They even called him like Mr. Vengeance. Like that's how he referred to him. That's how the Penguin referred to him in the movie.
Called him that's what Catwoman called him, Vengeance. Mr.
No,
Vengeance.
the Penguin did.
Did he?
Yeah.
I thought Catwoman called him that.
When he showed up to the Iceberg Lounge.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right at the front door. Dude, good stuff. Dude, I loved it. That show is so good. And it's a limited series. That's probably a very wise tactical decision because I don't know if I need, as good as this is, 20 episodes or a season 2. Like you have to tell another really compelling story divided up it's only 8 episodes, right? Is it 8 or 10?
Yeah,
I think it's only
8 episodes. Yeah.
So yeah, it's tough. It's a balancing act because you really do have to come up with legit content to fill an hour, and the cast is nice and tight now. I don't need 45 new people added, to take up space just to take up space because that's the other way these shows go bad.
Yeah, like you start rehashing stories just to tell them again. Kind of like think of National Treasure, where they try to rekindle the whole them falling in love again because they made them break up. They're trying to force that relationship back on us, which just didn't play well in the second one as it did in the first one.
Because in the first one, it was cute. There was some adventure behind it. In the second one, it's like, dude, nobody wants to see couple. Dude, what movies get that right is The Mummy, Part 1 and Part 2. like they're together in part 2 and they're even better. You know what I mean? Like they leveled up. Rick and Evie leveled up concurrently. You know, but dude, we've killed our time today at the 54-minute mark on our tech issue. So I tell you what, we had 2 other topics planned. I'll leave it to King Z which one he finds more interesting to talk about to round us out, because I know he's a giant fan of when we do the news. He wants to go with the obvious hot pick. Don't mind my crappy graphic. I threw it together last second because King Z was super busy and I knew he wasn't going to do anything on the graphic side anyway that wasn't take a picture and just plant it. But anyway, I haven't seen this. Have you seen this?
No, I don't plan on seeing it either. I wasn't planning on
Me
it.
neither.
I heard it announced, so.
All right, and that's our show. Bye, guys.
No, for what I heard from like everyone else, it's the director pretty much made a troll of all of his audience by what they did in this film. And then it was a unnecessary musical where it didn't need to be a musical. And it's more of a Arthur Flick movie than it is a Joker movie.
Dude, I've heard a billion bad things about this movie, and I'm also not going to see it. And I'm not going to see it because the most concerning thing I heard negatively spoken about this movie was that if the first one resonated with you in any way, this will retroactively ruin your enjoyment of the first movie.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me from trusted sources whose opinions are usually in line with mine. I'm good. I can catch this on Max in a month, watch 10 minutes and get a feel for it, and then not watch the rest. Dude, I had concerns about this movie 3 years ago, whenever it was announced, right? Up front, the director's talking about there won't be a sequel. Okay, so we know that they backed up the Brinks truck and gave you a bunch of money, or they said, make this and we'll let you make that. Like, they worked something out, right?
Which
That's
he
how you
made
get on
it
board.
was based on a joke he made. Like, yeah, give me this much money and I'll do a sequel. And they gave him that much money.
See, this one's 200 million, by the way, 200 million plus, because they don't report that accurately. But so we already knew he wasn't in on it, right? Then they go ahead and do the whole, it's a musical thing, or it's gonna contain musical elements, because it wasn't a straight up complete musical.
Yeah,
like it didn't go that far. And I said, okay, that could be interesting, because with a unreliable narrator, maybe when he sees Harley, he sees all of their exchanges in music, and it's not everything. He's not ordering a burger and it's in music. He's not getting on the train and it's in music. It's just Harley. Because we didn't know what her role was going to be like at first. Although maybe he gets a new therapist. It's Harley. She's really attractive. He falls in love and he does the whole Looney Tunes, bugs dancing on the heart cloud things because Cupid, yada yada. Nope, wasn't that. And then I heard that they did the Lady Gaga stunt casting, and I'm like, all right, well, she's obviously a talented performer. No one can say she's not. Music's not for me, but I don't argue with reality. I mean, whatever. And then I hear from most folks that she's not even in the whole movie a lot, but it's basically her plot, though, even though she's not in it a lot. And I'm like, well, why the fuck am I going to go see this movie if all of these things that were concerns I had are validated in opening day, people walking out of theater like, the fuck was this? Like, what just happened? Dude, do you remember the controversy around the first movie? Like people on the left were concerned that this movie was going to resonate with the incels and the chuds, and there were going to be violence in movie theaters across the world. And it didn't happen, of course. Yeah. But there were places talking about we're going to deploy the National Guard and extra state police to cover movie theaters. And then, of course, some nutbag lefty went and shot up the Dark Knight instead. But that's neither here nor there. I don't get this movie. Like, it's almost like they said this movie was popular with everybody we wanted to annoy and that we were afraid of. So let's make a second movie to undo all of that or something.
Pretty much saying
like.
We didn't need a sequel, and now I'm doing a sequel, and I'm going to make fun of you because I did a sequel.
Like the joke's on you, dude, because this movie only made like 40 million globally or something stupid. And when the word of mouth destroyed it over the weekend like it did, dude, I'm predicting right now an 80% drop weekend 2. 80% I'll give it, maybe even 85.
Yeah, because it had a lot of hype coming into it because of how well the first one was received.
Of course, billion dollars.
And it had 130 million less in the budget.
Right. And most of that, and the reason Warner Brothers didn't clean up on is because they didn't finance most of that in the first place I was reading that other people had invested in, so they didn't net back as much of that billion as they probably would have liked to. But I'm like, how do you then not just go out and try to get a repeat of that success, but with less of other people's money so you can net more? Like, did you really think you were owning us by making this movie? Like, it's financial suicide what these clowns did with this movie. I mean, I don't know what else to call it. Like, you made a movie that resonated on a sensitive subject with millions of people. Like, there are millions of people in the country that suffer with mental health issues, that know what it's like to lose providers, and know what it's like to have meds not be filled on time, or have cops hassle you with wellness checks and then put you away for 72-hour observations, but you didn't do anything wrong except sing to yourself on a park bench. Like, dude, I work in the field. I know. It's like, no, this movie didn't just resonate with like neck bearded basement dwellers that have never touched a boob. Like, it resonated with like real fucking people that have issues, or people that work in the field, or family members of people that have these kind of problems. Like, they done fucked up with this one big, dude. This might be a bigger disappointment on a technical level, like on a financial, than the Marvels, which was just bad because it was a stupid story. But like, they intentionally must have effed this up. I don't know how to else explain it.
Well,
I don't get it. What a missed opportunity. What a missed opportunity. Because imagine what a second movie could have looked like with this Arthur Fleck character coming into his own as a Joker, getting a little bit more power within Gotham. I heard somebody mention that there was a script idea that was about Arthur somehow, like his supporters lock down the courthouse and he puts Gotham on trial on camera. You know what I mean? Because the mayor's there, Harvey Dent's there, and like Gotham could have been put on trial for having failed so many people. I'm like, dude, that sounds more interesting than listening to him get mind graped by Harley and getting bum graped by the guards, and then spoiler alert, he dies, like he's killed. Like, that's the spoiler for the movie. Like, somebody shanks him. Thanks. Okay. I mean, that would have been fine in any other movie where it's like, height of his power cut down. But like you said, they basically deconstructed everything people liked about the first movie and then pissed on it.
Yep.
Congratulations, guys. You honestly don't get it. I don't know what to say about that. But yeah, no, I'm not seeing this dude. So that's going to be a Winter Wolf. Has no interest. I don't have a stamp for that. But that would be the stamp. Winter Wolf is out. I'll make one. Winter Wolf is out. Can't do it. All right, dude. Are we done? Do we do one more? What do you want to do? It's up to you.
I think we're done. We're at an hour or two now, so we've already we've held America hostage long enough.
Brie Larson will not lead the Avengers in Doomsday. That's never going to happen. Thanks. Bye.
I think she will, because the character
that's my point.
has
that's why I wanted
the
to
Avengers.
I know. That's why I wanted to talk about it. I had a whole different opinion. 2 minutes. Can we do two?
All right, let's go. All
right, dude. I'm a big fan in the path to redemption. I think Brie Larson has been out of the limelight so effing long with this character now. Besides that crap turn in the Marvel, she's been like out of like the news complaining about things. Even after that movie tanked, she didn't launch on like the Rachel Zegler stuff. So I think that written cleverly into the story that balances her abilities out with the other members of the Avengers, she could play a role. Like you said, there's some character, there's some comic precedence to have her there. Like, it makes sense for her to be involved. Maybe she just shouldn't be the leader, or if she does, she should have some character faults, have to learn something, have to let go of some power, something. They probably don't have the touch to do that, but I'm on the path to redemption. I don't need her to be canceled out of life anymore. It's been long enough.
So she was the leader of the Avengers and had to leave because her power was getting unbalanced and unstable, which could be a way of writing her off, and then her have to do the split where she splits between being a normal person again, and then Miss Marvel is where that came from. She had a split and then eventually come back together. That could have been a story, but they'll need to do a whole nother movie for that to build that into the Avengers. But they could use it as her needing the Avengers to help balance the power or something like that, as they have to face Doom, because I think they're going to lose in that first one. And I think
they're going that route again, you think?
And her going unstable. Yeah. And then her being unstable is going to be one of the key factors in that.
Yep. It could work. That's what I'm saying. As it works. If she goes out and does the press tour, if it all works out that way, she does the press tour. She's like, I'm excited to be back. There's been some bumps. This is a brand new project. I think you guys are really going to like it. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I just wanted to say thank you for everybody that came out and supported the Avengers all these years. You had all you got to say, and then say nothing else. Like, stay off Twitter. Don't read Screen Rant article comments sections. Don't come to our channel. Like, don't do that. Don't go watch us talk about Miss Marvel and the Marvels. Like, don't. But I think it could work because I think that enough time has gone by, and I think there should be like, she didn't murder like a busload of nuns at the end of the day. You know what I mean? She said what she said about people judging her movies, but like, she said it like once 10 years ago, like, let's move. We got to move on. All right. King Z, thanks for coming back, dude. Glad the lights are back on, folks. I just want to close out the show by saying, not that. Big thoughts and prayers for all our friends and family in the American Southeast. If you're in a position, again, to donate, support, help out, volunteer, whatever, do whatever you are safely capable of doing. Nobody needs to go down there and cause a bigger problem by ended up drowning or getting stuck up on something. Don't make yourself broke over it either.
Drain on resources.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you, King Z, for eloquently putting it. But do what you can if you can. We would appreciate it. I've taken my own actions. King Z's probably taken his own actions. But thoughts and prayers for everybody down there in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, everywhere impacted. King Z, I'll see you. We'll figure out what we're gonna do next. We won't talk about that on the air. But do our big fancy goodbye. I'm tongue tied.
Well, see ya.